Welcome back to the Savage Says podcast. I'm Caitlin.
I'm Kelly.
And we're so excited to be on this couch once again, recording live, sitting right next to each other. I have a fun segment. What are you drinking today, Kelly?
Oh, well, who knows where it's going to go through the afternoon and into the evening. But right now, I'm sitting here with my mostly drank Starbucks. And the guy at Starbucks was having, well, what I thought he was having difficulties understanding my vision, but I don't think he was. He was just kind of badly communicating that he understood what I was saying. So
he wasn't into it.
I don't know. He could have given me a little more life, but per the label on my drink, it is a grande hazelnut oat milk shaken espresso with cinnamon cold foam, blonde espresso, 1 hazelnut syrup pump, and 1 sugar-free vanilla syrup pump.
No wonder he wasn't giving you life. That is like the most annoying Starbucks order of all time.
No, it's not. Firstly, the grande hazelnut oat milk shaken espresso was like one of the items on the
You're right. You're
main
right.
menu. So like that, like the featured item.
Okay, so you just like decrease the amount of pumps.
Well, he told me it came with 2 pumps, which didn't sound right. I feel like the grande typically comes with 4 pumps.
I think it does.
But I was like,
according to the app.
Okay. So I just asked him to sub 1 hazelnut for a sugar-free vanilla, which I don't think is a big deal.
No.
And add cinnamon cold foam.
Okay. Yeah, no, you're right. I'm sorry for hating.
Yeah, I've made way more complicated Starbucks orders.
Me too. Like my last week's concoction is annoying. Not really.
Well, what are you drinking right now?
Well,
out of
today,
your cutie cup.
Yes. Today I'm drinking Busy Cold Brew, which shout out to Busy Cold Brew. It's only, okay, I don't know this to be true. I've only ever found it at Publix, which is, you know, troublesome.
The Mecca of all grocery stores.
Of course. It's like Disney World for normal people. I haven't found it in Hoboken, which is upsetting, but it's really, really good cold brew. I especially drink the espresso blend. And this one's been sitting in the fridge for a little, so I feel like it might have like a sour taste. Hopefully I don't get sick. The expiration hasn't come yet, but
okay,
anyway,
then it's fine.
Busy Cold Brew espresso blend.
Bizzy, right?
Yes. With a splash of Italian sweet cream creamer. More than a splash, like 3 splashes. I wanted it rather sweet today on this Sunday. But what's making it really special is that I'm drinking it out of this deliciously beautiful pink glass cup. It's like, it looks like one of those Starbucks cups that you can like buy at the merch stand. It's hot pink and it's glass and it's ribbed and it's so cute. I'll get into, where I found it and more finds that I've been enjoying. But it's from Target and it's so cute, and I found it yesterday, and I'm really excited to be drinking out of it.
It is really cute, and without revealing too much, it looks more expensive than presumably it was.
Yeah,
it's kind of like heavyweight
$5 too. Yeah, it's really nice, and it like suctions. The lid doesn't just like keep popping off, So
amazing,
really fun.
Well, something else I've been enjoying drinking this week was Poppy. Mm-hmm. And we know that probiotic soda is all the rage these days.
Totally.
Don't ask me what it actually does, but allegedly it's supposed to be good for your gut health.
Yeah, I feel like that might be a
croc. A croc?
A croc?
Yeah. It's a croc.
Like a rubber shoe?
No, like CROCK, like crock pot, but like a croc. I think that means like it's a fraud.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, I don't know, but I feel like the FDA or like some watchdog group would be all over them if like it actually wasn't a probiotic soda.
Totally.
So, anyway. Like
I think it has apple cider vinegar in it, and that's like the thing.
Okay, well, I
really
hate the taste of apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, but somehow they're making it work in the Poppy.
They say that that's like so good for you.
Yeah.
So glad to hear it if so. But there's Poppy and then there's Olipop. And I'm sure that there's like a million other ones of these, but those are the 2 that I know.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm a soda girl. Like I kind of love a good soda.
Oh, same.
And the fact that these are 45 calories and like 4 grams of sugar as compared to a can of Coke, which is like 140 grams, or I'm sorry, 140 calories and like probably 25-30 grams of sugar.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would you not be drinking this? Like, because for the most part, they taste the same, especially The one that I had, an Olipop I had yesterday was grape soda. Tasted just like Fanta.
The grape and the orange especially are really good copycats of the soda flavors.
Yeah, and then they have are so fewer calories and sugar. The only, I think, because it's like, well, why would you not drink them? Like, they're so much better for you if you have a hankering for a soda like that. They're expensive.
Totally. It's like $2.50 a pop.
Right.
Maybe more, depending on where you get them, where you source.
Right. So yeah, they're not for like mass consumption, I suppose. But the flavor besides grape Olipop, which I had yesterday, I tried the raspberry rose poppy.
She's a popular one.
She's so good.
Yeah.
Firstly, the can is cute.
So cute.
It's like pale pink and red, which is a color combo we love.
Yes. Savage says branded,
pink and red. But it was like, I don't even know how to describe it. It was kind of like Sprite, but with like a slight hint of framboise, which is French for raspberry.
Oh, she's learning on the Duolingo.
Yeah, well, that's also like a popular liqueur for mixed drinks, so that's actually why I know that.
She's spirited girl.
Yeah, actually, funny story. My old boss, who was also my pageant coach at another time in life, her specialty drink at her wedding was, I think they called it an equal parts, which like, I don't know if that's an actual drink or they like made that for their wedding, but it was equal parts framboise, which is raspberry liqueur, and then something else. Well, this is a bad story now because I don't remember what the other thing was. But they were only supposed to serve them during cocktail hour.
Okay.
Probably because it was like the items in this drink were expensive.
Yeah.
Like raspberry liqueur is not like a cheap, specifically framboise, which I think is the brand, is not like a cheap liqueur.
Right.
And they did not stop serving them at cocktail hour.
They were such a hit
for hours during the wedding, and I'm pretty sure like they were charged on consumption for the cocktails.
Oh.
And everybody was getting lit on these like expensive specialty cocktails.
Yeah.
So the bill was way more than was expected at the end of the night.
That is so funny.
Yeah, but she made me one at their house because they like, even though they're kind of like niche ingredients, they have them because,
right,
it's special to them. And it was really, really tasty. So I'll have to look up if an equal parts is actually a drink or what. But I remember for them, it was raspberry liqueur, pineapple juice, and vodka. I think
that sounds really delicious. And like maybe add some raspberry rose poppy to it.
Yeah, for a little effervescence. Ooh.
Should we do a Savage Says cocktail hour special?
Yeah, probably.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. We'll have to find out. Thank you for directing your sneeze out of the microphone. We've actually got some feedback.
Oh my God.
Sorry for Kelly's hefty breathing last week.
Oh my God, don't out me like that. That's so embarrassing. I'm so mortified. Whoever reported my heavy breathing, I'm sorry. I have been experiencing allergies and I refuse to take allergy medication, but I am mortified.
Okay, the thing is, it's been happening for years. Like,
I'm a mouth breather, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to just throw myself out the window now.
No. It's more your nose. It comes... It's like...
Okay, well, for the record, I just sneezed. Who knows if the microphone picked it up or not, but I did not sneeze into the microphone because that would be gross.
It's kind of like ASMR, though.
Oh, perfect. Sneeze ASMR with Kelly. No, thank you. No.
Anywho, we'll have to find out what the equal parts is and how to make it and what ingredients are in it because that sounds delicious and tasty.
Yeah, I think I got most of it, but we'll have to confirm. We actually tried a Savage Says cocktail hour at least once on TikTok. Caitlin was like, come with me to make a margarita. And then we realized in the process of making the margarita that we didn't actually know how to make one.
And it was bad.
Or I knew how to make one. You didn't.
Okay, well,
I had to intervene.
Oh, please. Okay. Well, no, your intervene was like, let's add some blood orange liqueur.
And it helped a lot.
It did. It was very delicious, but it wasn't like a quintessential marg,
No, because we had to rehab what happened.
Okay, well, I think the issue was that we were using 818 and...
No, that was not the issue. We weren't using 818 at the time, I don't think.
You sure?
But... No, I don't know. It doesn't matter. No, it
definitely was because there was like a whole bit on Kendall Jenner.
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
It doesn't matter. Maybe we'll resurface that video.
We'll figure out how to make a few cocktails and then do a cocktail hour special because we don't really have any standards in our repertoire. But spring repertoire at the moment, you've had a favorite that has been gracing the countertop.
Oh, yes. That was actually your favorite. You brought this to the table, but actually I brought it to the table.
Oh, I was suggesting it was like yours. I was just putting it on the list for us to talk about.
Okay, so I am addicted. I don't use that term lightly, and I am addicted to the Nerds gummy clusters. If you don't know what these are, go fix that, because they're like the tried and true Nerds ropes, the little gummy rope with the Nerds all over it that like were always very messy and hard to eat, because like you would nosh on it and it would like Nerds would get everywhere.
I would call a Nerds rope messy.
No, but they were kind of niche.
Well, right. They weren't a practical candy. Like, oh, let me just eat my candy rope, while I run errands. Like, no, that's weird.
Right. It was more of like, oh, we get it in your Easter basket.
Yeah, it was like a toy almost.
Yeah, I remember eating them at the movies when I was younger.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they have since adapted the Nerds rope to be little tiny bite-sized clusters. Hence the name gummy clusters, and they are lethally delicious.
Lethally delicious.
So
no one has died, for the record.
No, just they're so
interesting
good.
Choice of words for description.
Yeah,
but,
I don't know.
It's as if they cut the rope up, which is much more practical.
Definitely.
But you found a special edition.
Oh yes, well. I'm like this. I don't know when the Nerds gummy clusters came to fruition, because I first had them in the pink bag. That's their original form. And they're so cute. It's just like little rainbows, blah, 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 tastes delicious. But then for Valentine's Day, they had like, especially I've only found the special editions at Target. They had a pink bag, and they were pink and red and white.
So cute.
So cute.
Like the Poppy can.
Yes, exactly. So cute. It made them even more delicious. And then for spring, they've just released an Easter green bag that are Easter spring pastel colors.
They're so cute.
And they're so cute. And so I bought 5 bags of them last night.
Practical purchase.
Because I run through these gummy clusters like it's my job. I really do. Because I'm addicted to them,
Whoa.
That's me on the gummy clusters. And like by the time I open a bag, they're already gone, and I have to keep going back. Like I am making trips to Target to get these gummy clusters.
Wow. Well, you also came in with a vessel for the gummy clusters.
Yes. So back during White Christmas times, I contributed, my dressing room contribution was a candy jar, which I also got from the Target dollar section. It was really cute. The only one they had like, during that time, they had like Christmas and holiday themed like jars and silly knickknacks. And I wanted to get one with a Christmas tree because I saw it a few days prior, but the only ones they had left were ones with dreidels. And so I was like, oh, that works. It's holiday. And in White Christmas, there's like a moment where someone sings the dreidel song. So I was like, it's on theme. So I brought forward a jar for everyone to contribute some candy into during the run of White Christmas. And it was so fun and communal. Maybe that's why everyone got COVID. But
I was about to say, I thought the communal candy jar, candy dish died after COVID, and then there was a surge of that in your cast. So perhaps it was the candy jar that should never have been resurfaced.
It wasn't the girls. That's all I'll say. And the girls were the only ones who were
not sick.
Yeah, in the candy jar.
Well,
anyway,
I feel like pre-wrapped candy should be okay, like Jolly Ranchers and stuff.
Yeah, but that's not what it was. It was like gummy clusters and like Twizzlers.
Perfect. Everybody's grubby ass hands in there. Okay, well,
exactly.
Yuck.
Loose leaf candy.
Loose leaf candy. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
It's fine.
Sorry.
We're girls. We're clean. Except we were like touching so many props.
Right, I would say you're like on a dusty stage with people's feet dancing.
We're not going to think about it.
Anyway, so we have a communal candy. So the dreidel jar has made its way to this house.
Yes, and
post Christmas and Hanukkah.
Yes, there were lots of gummies acquired for both Matt's birthday. No, Matt's birthday hasn't happened yet.
No, it was Valentine's Day.
And just like
I think
gummy
just
clusters.
Valentine's Day. And then
just like gummy clusters AF. So when Kelly and Matt returned from something, I had displayed the candy in the dreidel jar, and it was a hit.
Yeah, we loved it.
And so that was exciting. Kelly said that she was like, can we keep the jar? And I said, well, I have to bring it back to the theater once we move into the theater, which we have as of yesterday.
Didn't know that it was a dreidel.
Yeah.
Like, not that I don't know what a dreidel is. Obviously, I'm cultured, but it's February, and I just wasn't thinking in the context of holiday things. And honestly, I just thought it was like a kind of geometric prism.
It's like the jar is clear. It's like an acrylic glass. Well, it's a glass jar, and it has like a like holographic almost, like iridescent little dreidel, but it's very ambiguous.
And it looks like the handle of the jar.
Yeah, so I didn't like a little square.
Yeah, I thought it blended in. I didn't think it was inherently holiday, but you are bringing that one to the theater, which you just moved into.
I was like, but I've been in Target a lot recently acquiring gummy clusters, and I've been really enjoying the like what used to be called the dollar section now has turned into the like $5 section with inflation.
Target, we see you.
Yeah, but oh my gosh, it's been popping off recently. So many cute things. That's where I acquired my fun cup today that I'm using today, and they had several seasonal jars. One including a bunny jar. It's a clear jar and it has a white lid with bunny ears.
Love it.
And I was like, I bet I can actually find you something that you'll like even better to have in this home. So I'm bringing the dreidel jar back today to the theater for another communal candy jar, along with 2 bags of spring gummy clusters. And we have just transferred all of our spring candies into the bunny jars. So exciting day here at Camp Kelly.
Big stuff. Matt's back from the North Pole, and he did not bring his winter cheer with him. As I've mentioned before, he's a stickler for holiday deadlines. So we don't have any Christmas stuff up still, but we have some kind of winter decor, namely some chic reindeer dressed in like white fur coats.
Yeah, they're amazing.
They're amazing. And I'm literally looking around and realizing that he already took them away. Like, where did they go?
Gone.
They're gone. Oh my God.
Mad.
He's so sneaky. Like he just came down from the storage unit with all of our spring decor, which isn't that much, but I have some like kind of gorge Easter eggs with like mosaic colored tiles, glass Easter eggs. And I thought he just brought those down. I did not realize he had already stripped away the winter decor.
We didn't even get to say goodbye.
I know. We didn't even get to give a farewell to our fur Latin dear girlfriends.
They're amazing. You know who's still out though?
Who?
The champagne bottle dressed in a parka.
Yep. Well, that's not so much holiday decor. Well, here's the thing. I know it's March, but it's still winter.
It's still
technically
cold.
Well, yes. No, and like seasonally, it's still winter. I think we looked at it the other night. It doesn't become spring until like March 20th.
Totally. And
the weather here in Atlanta is kind of coming and going. Like we've had a few nice kind of 65-ish degree days, but then 2 nights ago it was 40 something. So it's still kind of cold, and like I'm not too mad about it because Atlanta really does get good seasons, and like spring is going to be really nice, I think, for a few months before it gets hot in like June, whereas Florida, where we grew up, there was no spring. Right. It's like it's kind of cold for December through February, and then all of a sudden it's 85 degrees,
real hot. Yeah.
And there's no spring and there's no fall. So this kind of like trickling into spring is a little confusing because like, oh, I'm wearing a coat and it's March outside. Yeah. But I feel like in most places that's actually pretty normal.
Definitely. And living in New York last year, I was hit with spring and like by the joy of spring, and really got to experience it. And I'm sure you did too, here being in Atlanta and elsewhere in your travels. The city of Hoboken and also New York, just the north, comes alive because like, come alive. Da-na-na.
Those are the only words I know.
Yeah. But pretty much like I never really, also not really experiencing seasons, understood the concept of like seasonal depression. I thought it was just kind of like a thing people said.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, seasonal depression. It's January, like Christmas is over. Oh no, like it's real up there, especially in like a metropolitan city.
And when you're trapped inside in your little apartment.
Yes, trapped inside of my little apartment. I'm so thankful to have live a lifestyle that like has me out and about and doing something different every day. But for the people who commute to the office, you are getting up at 5-6 in the morning. It's still dark outside. You go to the office, you come out after work, and it's dark outside again.
Yeah.
You really don't experience daylight
Right.
at all.
And it's cold.
And nobody wants to do anything after work. Everyone just goes home, and it's like dreary and disgusting. And like I was second-handedly feeling that seasonal depression, because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is such a sad existence. Like,
Yeah.
not to get too like depressing, but I was like, oh man. And even though I was able to be out and about and like doing different things, it was still dreary and cold, and I didn't want to be outside either. Anyway, so when there's that change, that shift of the season, it was like, oh, everybody was outside walking around
in the
like,
parks.
yes,
Yeah.
like,
Spring has sprung
it was
blooms.
like, it was like a movie. Like people were throwing frisbees and there were picnic blankets. Like it was crazy, and it was so cute and fun, which is why I think like also summer is fun in Florida. You know, it's kind of miserably hot.
Yeah, I'm inside
Yeah.
in Florida in the summer. Don't talk to me.
For sure,
I'm not
but,
doing
like-
activities outside in August. Back to school was always heinous.
Yeah.
Waiting
Disgusting.
outside at parent pickup
Yeah.
in August in Florida, like,
Ew,
and
awful.
then our mom was always like the last one to show up.
Of course. Busy queen.
Yeah, I guess, but
Yeah. What?
just had to stand outside for a while, and it was hot.
So, but it's lovely during, especially like early summer or May and June. It's really, really nice outside. And
Oh my god, what just happened?
the ice machine's having a riot.
Sorry for the disruption there. It just sounded like the roof was caving in, but it
Yeah.
sounds like the ice maker was doing something.
The sky is falling.
But yeah, excited for spring.
Yeah.
Matt has declared, winter's over in this house, and we're bringing out the spring decor. So
Fine,
a little
fine.
early, but kind of funny that you are discussing like the seasonal, depression, people like running from the north during this time, or rather the serious kind of feelings of winter despair as they prolong. So we're getting married March 22nd, 2025. The date just adds up. 3 + 22 = 25.
That's cute.
Yeah, thanks. I was discussing with our new wedding planner, which I'm very excited about.
Can we give her a name? Like, can she be a character on this podcast?
Yeah, totally. I mean, do you want to just use her real name?
I don't know. Is that okay?
Yeah, her name's Lisa.
Oh, love it.
So we're just going to call her Lisa.
We're going to address her by her real given name.
By her real given name. So Lisa and I, this is the transition to Kelly's nuptial news.
Yay! Bring, ding, ding.
So if you've been following along, it's been a little chaotic over here because my first wedding planner quit weddings. Which
Like, that's literally what happened.
that's literally what happened. Now we can laugh about it.
Quit her job that she gave her. What are you doing? Where
Sorry,
are you going?
I just feel like we need to be further away, so I'm like walking a little bit further away. I'm just worried that like your mic is going to pick up my sound, etc.
That's why we have this device.
Okay, it's fine. I think we're good. Anyway, so yeah, my first wedding planner quit weddings, which like put everything on hold and caused me a great bout of stress.
Yeah.
Because I was assigned another one that I didn't really vibe with. So then I had to break up with them, and I've never broken up with anybody.
Go
Because
listen to last week's episode if you want.
yeah,
more
if you
on
want
that.
more, go listen to last week's episode. And if you listen to last week's episode, sorry for this recap. Anyway, we have a new wedding planner. Her name is Lisa. We are vibing. I think we're headed in the right direction. We were talking about guest list and numbers, and she feels very firmly that our reception space can only hold a certain number, which is like with a dance floor and a band, which we're planning to have, which is like no more than 150. Like that's too much probably. Like it needs to be more like 130, 140 comfortably. And even that, she was like, I don't know. But it's interesting because like if you the venue specs say that it can hold 248 people.
Okay.
But that is like a function without
In
a
an
dance
empty
floor.
room.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Function without a dance floor or room for a stage.
Yeah.
So as of yesterday or so, the tentative invite list was like 199. But you consider that a certain percentage of people will not be able to attend or choose not to attend, which is fine. And you never know who that's going to be. But I had previously thought that the attrition number would be like somewhere between 70 and 75%. And if you take 199 and do even 75%, that number is 149, right? So we were pretty close to where we needed to be. But Lisa was like, no, Florida in March, where are your guests coming from? And I kind of ran her down where guests were coming from, which some are definitely Florida, but those people are likely to come. And then a lot of people are in New Jersey, New York, DC area, North Carolina. And I wasn't sure where she was headed with that, but she was like, those people are coming because it's still going to be cold where they are. And it is going to be gorgeous weather in Florida.
Yeah, that's so true.
So like you need to plan for 80% attrition, which is not what I was planning for.
Right.
So we're going to have to make some cuts, which is kind of stressful.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just like you want for this joyous occasion, the more the merrier, you want to invite as many people. You want as many people that you invite to actually be able to attend and to come. You don't wish that people are not, RSVP no.
Right.
So it's difficult. So I'm really sorry that you have been tasked with this.
No, it's okay. I guess I just, I wasn't expecting to have to cut people for this reason.
Right.
Like, obviously, the bigger the guest list, the more expensive it is.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
For everything. So that was always obviously like part of the equation. But the space situation, like on its face, like you would look at this ballroom and be like, this is a big ballroom.
Yeah.
Like you would never think that you need to cut a guest list, at a certain point for this space. But I trust her. I trust her judgment. She's done many weddings in this space.
Yeah.
And I don't want people to be crowded. And I also don't want like a, one square dance floor.
Right.
That's
everyone has to share a tile.
Yeah. That there's no way to like kill a party like that. So, gotta work on that.
And this is why, this is the exact thing that you wanted your wedding planner to school you on, if you will.
Exactly.
Like this is the information you wanted her or that planner to bring forward, is expertise on the venue and like firm, clear like directions or opinions or input.
Totally. Yes.
On things
and I'm
such as
gonna
this.
listen to her.
Yeah.
Like I'm a headstrong person and I tend to do my own research before making decisions, but like seem to feel pretty good about those decisions. But if someone who's done this before is telling me this is what you need to do regarding this thing, like I'm gonna listen to her. Otherwise, why would we have hired her?
Right.
The thing she knew about that room, about like the tables have to be 3 feet from the wall for the fire code, and therefore you can only fit this many tables within a certain place if you want to have the dance floor in this area. Like
there you go.
That's the expertise we're paying for. So
Definitely.
Really grateful to have her on our team. Other thing I'm doing today, which we held off on until we got the chance to consult with Lisa on this, was our band and our photographer, which are two, pretty big, important vendors. We got the go-ahead from Lisa.
Yay!
That she's on board with both of our selections. So I'm going to go ahead and submit those contracts today, which means I can get our engagement photos booked too for April when we're back in Florida for another wedding that we're going to. Our photographer is actually Jacksonville based, where we're from, but she's going to come to Orlando for the wedding. But while we're in Jacksonville for this other wedding in April, she's going to do our engagement photos. So excited about that.
So exciting. And you've been kind of on a quest to find an outfit for that occasion, right?
Yes, I have.
I got several links this morning.
Yes. Yep.
In my inbox.
And they're all sold out, so that's wonderful. The other thing I had my eyes on was an outfit from Amanda Uprichard that is on pre-order until the end of April, so that doesn't help. Because I know enough from pageants about like outfits that you might love in person don't necessarily photograph well, and vice versa. Like things you need to wear for photos specifically, like is very specific. Like you don't want to wear anything that isn't form-fitting. Yeah. Because, something more flowy or, whatever can look good in person because you can see the movement. But in a photograph, it might just make you look bigger. Right. Or just be unflattering. So like,
Right. It's so unfortunate. I love things that like are not fit to my body.
yeah, me too. That's my preferred outfit. But I know that doesn't generally photograph the best.
Yeah.
So I'm on the quest for, something in white that is form-fitting, like send prayers,
Yeah.
because that's scary town USA.
Yeah.
But we'll find something. In fact, that is the wrap on the nuptial news regarding, or my last point is my reinvigorated commitment to fitness, which is starting in 2 to 3 business weeks.
Is that for a particular reason, or just because you're not in the mental space to really embark on that journey for another 2 to 3 business weeks?
Both. Well, so I'm out of town this week in DC for work. Thank you, kitties, who participated in submitting DC restaurant recommendations.
Yes.
We had great submissions for that. I've been to DC many, many times, but I just kind of needed, it's always like a last minute thought of like, oh, where are we going to dine? And I just kind of find like whatever's open on Resi or Open Table or something.
Right.
And I mean, we've been to a few of the hot spots, but I was ready for some new blood in that mix. I was pretty satisfied to see that a few recommendations that came up a few times I had already been to.
Nice.
So I've got a thumb on the pulse a little bit, but thank you to all that submitted your wisdom. Really appreciate it. And also have to do that today. Shop around for some dinner reservations for my colleagues and I. But yeah, so I'm out of town, and the next week I am also out of town. I'm in California and then going to Chicago for Matt's birthday and St. Patrick's Day.
So fun.
So looking forward to that. Actually, if you have any Chicago recs,
Yes, we'll do another
another
inbox
submission form. Yeah.
thing.
I've been to Chicago too, but again, like always eager to hear where people love. I think that's like the most fun part about visiting a city is getting some insider knowledge from people who know it well and seeing the best spots in a short period of time. So anyway, point being is I'm pretty much out of town from now until like right around March 20th. So it just didn't make sense for me to commit to something that was not going to be feasible. And I work best on a deadline.
Yeah.
And like with a firm timeline, like a finish line for success, if you will. So like shout out to people who can make this a lifestyle. Because it ain't your girl.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've like my weight has fluctuated like 50 pounds on and off for like literally as long as I can remember, and probably always will. But trying not to let that happen again. But what's my point? I'm not going to just be able to like go to Orange Theory perpetually for the rest of my life.
No.
It just doesn't work for me. But I do really well under pressure on a deadline.
Yeah.
So I'm going to wait until right around March 22nd of this year and then put on my Sparkle running shoes. Theoretically, I don't actually have those, but I probably should.
Yeah, we should make that happen for you.
Yeah. And then that way it's like, okay, we have a year.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah. And I'm not going to do anything crazy. Like I'm feeling pretty good generally. Like I'd like to just tone up all around so that everything just like looks better and there's no like, arm jiggle while holding the bouquet. The shots at the altar are going to be like profile. So you got to have a nice toned arm for that.
One thing about Kelly is she will think things through.
Oh yeah. I've thought about everything. I think I think I already said this a few episodes ago, but like Matt, we were at a wedding and Matt was like, one thing people don't think about is the timeline for the reception. And I was like, oh, really?
People don't think about that?
Don't think about that? You haven't thought about that? Because I've thought about that. What do you mean?
I've already planned actually accordingly. So.
Well, I haven't because I want to hear from Lisa what's going to work
true.
best. But point being is we have toning to do. I really have not done any significant work in the gym in a while. I go to the apartment gym here and there and hit the treadmill for like 45 minutes, which is kind of a long time.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not running. Don't get it twisted.
Don't get it twisted.
No, she's walking on an incline.
Hey, let's just like normalize this because like sometimes your priority your priorities change, not yours,
Yeah.
but like people's priorities
Definitely
change.
mine.
And I feel and I feel like it's like such a conversation of like, you need to do it for you, and which like, yes, true, but like sometimes
You need to not do it for you.
yeah, and that's okay. And so like I feel like there's just like a stigma, if you will, around like I want to get like in shape for my wedding, and that doesn't necessarily, I don't think that.
Well, right. Then there's the kind of preachy attitude of like it should be a lifestyle,
Right.
You know? Yeah, I hear you. You're right. It should. But my lifestyle, which is heavy travel,
Yeah,
unpredictable hours,
and eating out a lot
by myself or otherwise.
Yeah.
I love a good cocktail.
Yeah.
Like if I were to stop doing all those things, my mental health would probably spiral
Yeah.
from isolation, boredom, grief. I don't know.
The loss of a good cocktail.
Exactly. So like you got to find the balance, and like in this new season of life, I want to look really great in all of these various photos that we're taking just in general for the wedding. So I now have a new invigorated reason to get to the gym and go to Orange Theory, which is probably what I'll do. I used to do Orange Theory. I like the competitive aspect of it. Not so much against other people, but I like being able to see my stats up on the screen.
Yeah.
And know where I am. That really motivates me. So yeah, that's what's happening in 2 to 3 business weeks.
Well, I'm happy for you.
Thank you. Actually, Matt was like, what about Pure Barre? And Caitlin here is a Pure Barre instructor, so maybe I'll just like scam some free classes off of her
Yeah.
at home. But I did Pure Barre a few years ago over the summer, and first of all, my shit got rocked.
It's harder than people give it credit for.
Absolutely. Like anyone who thinks Pure Barre is like ballet class, like
Yeah, for
ballet
girls.
class also has rocked my shit. But like,
Same.
yeah. So like, don't take that the wrong way either. Oh my God, both are very hard for different reasons. But no, it's not like you will work muscles you didn't even know that you had.
Right.
But for me, it's not going to yield the results I'm looking for.
Right. Quickly.
I feel like that is a lot more like lengthening, strengthening muscles that you might not necessarily see,
Right.
but you can utilize.
Yeah.
And is great for like super skinny women who need to tone up and like build a little muscle. I'm definitely looking to like shed some fat and tone arms and legs, I guess, like probably with like lifting heavier weights.
Right. Well, actually, Pure Barre plug, they've rolled out a new format called Define, which
Okay.
is more like heavyweight, and it's like less musically driven and like more heavyweights, but it's
I like
not like
music.
cardio.
Right.
So
Here's the other thing about Pure Barre, which is why it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Is because each studio is unique and you can't use your membership elsewhere.
Yes, very true.
Whereas Orange Theory, while the studios can be owned by different people, it's all reciprocal.
Yeah.
So I could like have a Orange Theory membership here in Atlanta, and that could be my home studio.
Yeah.
But I can use it on the road.
Yeah,
So like, and
it's really good.
back when I was competing in Miss Florida and had this job, 2018. I mean, oh my God, I was not.
She was
It was hard. It was
talking
really
about mental state.
yeah. Well,
mental
and
wellness.
I had a lot of, I would say, mental fortitude, even just trying to make that happen. But
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to Orange Theory all across the country, and I was
Yeah.
having to pack gym clothes literally for every trip, and I was all over the map trying to get to the gym and stay super fit while doing that. Very heavy travel, like more so than I'm doing
Yeah.
now. So it's doable and it can be done. And that's, I probably won't be doing as much of that because the pressure there was that I was going to be in a swimsuit on stage, and I won't quite be as naked at my wedding. Actually, there's a lot of dress, so need to focus on the upper body,
Totally.
less so the lower. But that's a big pro for Orange Theory and other such gyms where you can use your membership all across the country rather than just at one studio for
Yeah.
someone like me who's traveling a lot.
Definitely. Wow. Okay. And on that note, we were having a conversation this morning as I was eating my breakfast/lunch, brunch, if you will, that Kelly so kindly prepared for me. It was a Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwich, but like,
You could have just left it at Kelly prepared for me and let the people think that I made you like a artisanal sandwich, but
All right.
no, you had to kill it with Jimmy Dean.
well, I mean, it was artisanal. It takes like, those things require a lot of directions.
Yeah.
It's like, put it in the microwave, but then take the top piece of bread off, and then you have to flip it over 45
Flip it
seconds
over,
in.
do a handstand.
Yeah. do a front walkover pass over the sausage, and then like toss an egg and serve it on a silver platter. That being said, we discovered that I don't know if discovered is the right word. Anyway, we're both stress eaters.
Oh yeah. And allegedly there's people out there who don't eat when they're stressed,
which is like crazy to me.
Yeah. And when I say don't eat when they're stressed, I mean they eat less or eat nothing at all.
Yeah, like it makes them like queasy, like sick to their stomach.
They lose their appetite.
Yes.
Could not be us.
No. I think that's really where my addiction to the gummy clusters came to play, is that I was like stress eating these little tiny bite-sized crunchy bundles of goodness in order to ease some anxieties.
Right. It was kind of like a what's the word? Like a fidget spinner.
Yes.
But it was candy.
And I really do not to get into the like science of it, and I have not consulted with a professional about this, but like I really do think it's like a tactile thing or like a sensory thing.
That's what I was looking for. Sensory fulfillment.
Yes. I am in a lot of ways very like my senses come into play when it comes to anxiety and like anxious habits. And so I think like eating something and like nibbling and the act and the like stimulation of it is like definitely a thing. Yeah. And so sound off below, and below I mean I don't know where, but sound off. Are you a stress eater?
Yeah. Are you a stress eater or are you an anti-stress eater?
Because I'm jealous of you if you're not.
Yeah. Do you want to hear like a gross story?
Yeah.
That happened to me once. So I'll try to make it short. The day was July 3rd, 2015. And I was interning in Winter Park for actually the company I still work for now, 9 years later. Woof. And I was leaving to go home to Ponte Vedra for the weekend, like the long weekend for 4th of July, because our parents live at like a beach club. So we have a pool and beach, whatever. So I was leaving Orlando to go there for the weekend to enjoy that. And I had packed up all my stuff, was like getting out the door into the car to make the drive home. And I packed up the car. And then somewhere in that process, I realized I didn't have my keys. But like I had to have had them to have unlocked the car to get into it, to get all my stuff in there.
Right.
So the keys went missing somewhere between the apartment and the parking garage while I was packing the car. It was crazy. Looked for literally hours between the car and the apartment. Never could find them. Had to call a locksmith and have them come and like make me a new key. It was crazy. And then I was like crying on the phone to Mom. I had no money because I was, interning in college. So like she had to like call the locksmith and pay them. I don't know. And this whole thing took hours. And I was like, where could the keys have gone? I was just so bent out of shape because my keys went missing.
Yeah.
Inexplicably, as I'm trying to go somewhere. And she was like, I'll look through your car when you get here. Like they're in there. You know how moms can always just like find stuff.
It's crazy.
That you can't. Yeah. Well, after this whole thing, I was so bent out of shape that I went to Taco Bell.
Obvi.
Yeah. And then immediately left out of the Taco Bell drive-thru, and right across the street there was a Krispy Kreme. And I drove out of the Taco Bell drive-thru and into the Krispy Kreme drive-thru.
Genius. Sometimes
and then pulled over like in the Krispy Kreme parking lot and ate my Taco Bell. And then I think I ate the Krispy Kremes as I drove to Ponte Vedra. And that is why I yo-yo 50 pounds.
Savage says
that was the time. Well, I was not doing Orange Theory.
Savage says eating clean is for chumps.
Yeah, the people who are eating clean are like, actually, it's for you two who are disgusting beings, which is probably more accurate.
That sounds like something I would do today. I actually have done in the past, not that exactly, but this might be like TMI.
The worst part was that like as I like rolled up to the Krispy Kreme window for them to give me my donuts, I like hid the Taco Bell bag because I was like,
the Krispy Kreme worker.
Yeah, I was like, the Krispy Kreme worker is gonna like judge the hell out of me, and I was like, I can't have that. Like, I clearly was in my own right mind to like know how shameful this behavior was.
Right.
But yeah, it happened, and I'm still alive. Everything's fine.
I have gained 4 pounds in the past like 3 days.
Oh, well, okay. That's within the margin of error. It's water weight.
Okay. Well, no, I don't know about that because for my past like 5 meals before this GBD biscuit, which ... But I'm like working backwards on the meals that I've had. Trigger warning. I don't know.
Yeah,
We're a little late for this, but Taco Bell, Moe's, Chipotle, Chick-fil-A breakfast, lots of Quick Trip slushies, Sonic. The list goes on and on.
Okay,
truly.
so maybe it's not water weight.
Right. And we've like not really been rehearsing as intensely. We've been doing like tech and that kind of stuff. So haven't been doing a lot of cardio.
But you went to the gym yesterday morning at like 7 a.m.
I did.
Which was wild.
Crazy. I woke up at like 6:30. Anyway, this is getting off the rails.
Yeah.
But just fun facts.
Anyway, I haven't worked out seriously in a while, and I am going to start in a few weeks in preparation for the wedding.
Love that for you.
Yeah, and all in a balanced, healthy way, maybe.
We'll see.
Because I've got a year. It's not like I'm like crash exercising, you know? And I'm not planning to do anything wild. I literally don't care that much.
Totally. And I hope that journey is good for you.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for your support. So regarding the theater though, I know you said you're not doing studio rehearsals anymore. You're in the theater.
Yes.
And you had some technical difficulties the other day, it sounded like.
So we transitioned from the rehearsal space to the theater, which is always so exciting. It's like a field trip that lasts for like a month. But exciting stuff. The first day, so for White Christmas back in December, obviously, this was my first like theater experience. I had never been in a musical or anything that wasn't like a dance show. So it was my first time like working with microphones and like being mic'd. I was like low-key shook. Like I knew what I was getting into. I knew what my contract said. Like I knew I was going to be mic'd, but for some reason I was still like surprised when they were like, all right, here's your mic and it's going to be on.
Didn't you offer them to just like keep it off?
Yeah.
Or like you were like, I don't need one actually.
Yeah. Well, so when I got there, they didn't actually have a mic for me. They were like, I don't know, there was some confusion. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm not supposed to have one. Like that is very much like, that could be possible. Like, honestly, like it's probably better if I don't. Just like, don't worry about it. And they were like, stop, please. Like, okay, we're going to get you a mic and just like, please calm down and shut up. But
please calm down and shut up.
It was my first like experience with mics, therefore I had to do a sound check. And also I just like wasn't forward thinking and I was just like, nah, I'm just happy to be here. And like, so when they were like, during this process, I was like shook when they were like, all right, Caitlin, we're gonna go ahead and do your sound check now. And like they were just cold calling. Like we were on stage doing tech, we were in costumes, mics and everything, and like going through the show, and that's when they were doing our sound check. And so you never knew when you were going to be called. And just my luck, my sound check happened when the whole entire cast was on stage and everyone got to just stand there and watch me while I had to say my 2 lines over and over and over again and then sing by myself on stage.
What did you
with
sing?
No music. Well, so I started, I'll give you a little
sneak preview
sample. I'm dreaming of a white.
Oh,
to which
no.
I stopped, and I was like,
Dunice, is that you?
This is what I said. Sorry, I got nervous. And then I pivoted to, I love a piano, and I sound so bad singing that.
Wait. That was for this show?
This is White Christmas.
Oh, this is the last show. Okay,
yes.
Which those songs are from.
Yes, and that piano song sounds so silly because those were my harmonies. And, you know, whatever. Did them correctly. Did they sound good? Objectively, no. But that was what I was assigned. I understood the assignment and we got it over with. And it was kind of endearing because I was like, haha, sorry, I'm nervous. Maybe it wasn't, but in my head it was. So flash forward to this time. I knew sound check was going to happen. I was dreading it. It was announced that we were going to do it a little bit differently this time. So first day of tech was yesterday. And the first thing we did was we all got into our like wig prep and mics. And there was an order. And we just went in order. That was listed, and we would all go out onto the stage by ourselves and do our sound check, say lines, sing, whatever. And I was like, okay, honestly, this is going to be better because not everyone's going to be on stage staring at me. Not that anyone really is paying attention or being judgmental, but it's just, you know, internal pressures and external pressures. whatever. So I was like, this will be better. Like, no one's paying attention. It's just going to be me and like the sound people and whoever's in the house. But I was still nervous. So on the way there, I like went through all of my music. I sang my songs in the car. I knew the lyrics, like as I should at this point in the show. And my time comes around. I get out there. I was like, really wasn't nervous until like right before I had to go. And it was like, we had a person on stage, a person in the wing, and a person on deck. And I was in the wing and I was like, oh my God. I was like, I started like shaking and like just getting so nervous. And so I pulled up like the lyrics on my phone, just to like some of the music that I was going to sing for this sound check. And I get out there, I'm holding my phone and I go blank. Like the house lights were on, the director was out there, the associate, they weren't really paying attention, the sound people, like just a few other people floating in the audience. I could see everyone, and I was looking at this big theater by myself. I was standing on stage alone. There was like a spotlight on you. I felt like I was auditioning for the Glee Club. Like, it was so nerve-wracking, and just like my mind goes blank, and I'm just like like stammering like an idiot. I again pulled up the lyrics and I looked down and it was like I couldn't read anything.
But like, couldn't you have just sang anything? Like,
You
they don't
could've.
care what you're singing, right? It's literally just for the audio people to hit levels.
Yes, but they did say, they were like, oh, by the way, like, we're gonna do things from the show, stick to
Got it. Okay.
material within the show. Oh my gosh, I'll keep this brief, but there's this TikToker who does like a bit on TikTok that's like that girl at Soundcheck that's like, hey, oh my gosh, this is so funny, everyone can hear me, like la da dee 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 dee, my name is Steffi321, like, oh my God, like, it's really funny. Anyway, so that's what I was like, I was doing that bit backstage. I was like, that's gonna be me. And then I get out there and I'm like, and then I start like singing words that weren't mine. I was
Bonjour.
like, yeah, so I'm like, that's my line. I'm like, bonjour. And then I say, what lovely grapes.
So that's what you did.
That's what I did. I was able to hit those. And then I start, like, I'm pretty sure I started singing Belle's songs.
And they were like, ma'am, you were not hired for this role.
I was like, this is not my lyrics. It was so embarrassing.
But like, you don't have any other lyrics. They're all group songs.
They're
right?
all group songs, but I couldn't remember the lyrics to them.
Oh.
It was so embarrassing, and it looked as though
Be
like,
our guest.
yeah,
Be
you would
our
think.
guest.
You would think. How
Okay.
I have known these songs since I was 3 years old.
Well, only that one probably.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. It was so embarrassing,
Okay.
and
But you're
I
still alive.
Started panicking, and I just like I might not ever be hired again.
No.
But-
I highly doubt the powers that be were even paying attention.
Yeah, I hope not.
Okay.
So that was that.
Well, I'm
embarrassing
sorry that
stories with
happened,
Kate.
but
It's okay.
you've made it out on the other side.
Yeah, next time. Hopefully, there is a next time. I'll be better.
I think hopefully there will be.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think it's time to wrap.
Yeah, I think so.
As a reminder, Miss Kelly is looking for recommendations for Chicago this week.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to be there for Matt's birthday, so looking for a fun place for his birthday dinner.
Mm-hmm.
I currently have a reservation at somewhere called Marty and Gino's, which sounds like a Philly cheesesteak place, but it's
That
not.
sounds very Italian.
It is an Italian restaurant, yeah. But I don't know if that's a spot or not. We are going to Bavette with his BFF 9 and his wife
Nice.
on Saturday, so don't tell me about Bavette.
Don't want to hear it.
We're already going. But if you have any other recommendations or places we should go, let your girl know. Would love to follow the kitty community's recommendations. And we appreciate your participation in that. Otherwise.
Also, you're going to Paris.
Oh, yeah, I was going to save that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, then we'll save it.
Caitlin blew it. No. Bonjour.
Bonjour. No, you're going to Paris because you're coming to see Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're all going to Paris. All right. On that note, we hope you guys have an amazing week. Thank you so much for listening. We're having so much fun with you.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Toodaloo.